Hello there, watchy people. How's it going? Welcome along to an assembly. Yeah, I have bought the components for an automatic watch off of AliExpress, and here they are in front of us. Actually, the only exception is the strap. I bought that off of Amazon. The strap is actually the most expensive part of this, as it's turned out. Yeah, so I kind of feel like it's a bit too good for the watch, to be honest, but you know, we'll use it. Maybe we can swap it to another watch in future. But yeah, let's have a look at what I have got. So starting off with the case, I'm going for a pilot watch style. Here you go. Here is the case. Let's unwrap it from its whatever this is. Oh, I think there's a protective film on there. To the eye, that looks perfectly clear, but you can see on the close-up camera over here, there's some bubbles in it. So yeah, I think there's a protector on there. So we'll have to find the edge of that and pull that off later. But yeah, that's the case anyway. Next up, we've got the actual movement. It's a Seiko NH35 movement, which obviously has a date complication on it. Complication is just means anything except the time. Technically, the seconds hand is a complication as well. The hour and the minute is the basic standard for what a watch needs to do. So I guess we need to start by putting on the dial. So let's move that to one side for a second while we get the dial out of its case, if I can. There we go. Now, this is not actually exactly as I ordered it. When I ordered it online, it was a blank, it was unbranded. And what's actually come through, as you can see, is a Seiko branded dial. Let's hold this up a bit so you can see it. There you go. So yeah, I wasn't intending to make a fake Seiko, because obviously Seiko won't make a watch that has all the components that I'm using, like the specific dial and the hands, etc. But this is a Seiko movement, or rather, I don't know if it's a Seiko movement. I'm going to assume that it's a cheap Chinese copy, but it's a Seiko design of movement. So you could argue that it's not being dishonest, but I don't know. I tried to be honest about what it was and get one that didn't have a Seiko brand on it, but this is what came. So you can see on the back of the dial there are 4 little feet. Hopefully I won't need to actually trim any off, but it looks like I probably will. We ought to have this on the cushion actually. Let's get the cushion out. There we go, that's better. So yes, I can see based on that if I put this the right way up, yeah, I am going to need to trim them. So let me grab a set of flush cutters and we'll do that. So I need to cut off this one. So we'll do that. There we go. That's very nice. I might just get a little file out actually and make sure that that's completely flush. Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. So that's one side. And now we just have the top one to do. And it's the lower. Yeah, it's definitely this one that needs to come off. So I'll rock that back and forward. I was going to use the flush cutters properly, but I think wobbling it actually works a bit better. Okay, so I'll just file that one off again. Make sure it's as flat as the other one. Nice. Okay, that seems pretty good. So let's see if we can pop that on. There we go. I think that is as on as it gets. Lovely. Okay. So we now have a face on our watch. That's beautiful. Next thing to do then is going to be put the hands on. Surprised it didn't come in a membrane box actually. I would have thought that had been a standard thing. I said to you guys in the first video that I've been watching Wristwatch Revival, and that's pretty much my entire knowledge base. And he always uses membrane boxes. Oops, there we go. I've got black, quite straight, quite basic hands to go on this. So I think they'll set off nicely against the dial. But again, you know, we're building this ourselves, so there's no reason that we can't change this again in future. We don't have to stick with these hands. We don't have to stick with this dial. We can get other ones. So yeah, I think that'd be pretty good. I'm going to spin this around so that it's facing you guys. So yeah, start off basically biggest time measurement first. So around this, I think is this called the cannon pinion? I'm not sure. This, but there's quite a wide base here. It's like a tube around the outside. The hour hand fits on that, and the next one up is the minute hand goes on, and then there's another tube inside that the seconds hand pokes in the top of, and that's how each of them is driven differently, and then there's gears underneath that do that. So there you go. I'm sounding like I know what I'm talking about. But honestly, this is literally the first thing I've ever done, so don't rely on anything I say. But now we're going to try and get these hands on. So I'm going to lean in nice and close. There we go. Okay, so I'll try and get this pointed directly at 12. Actually, I just realised I need to set the watch, don't I? You have to make sure that it turns at midnight. So I'll keep winding this until the date. There it goes. It's almost gone. And it should go click. There we are, that's it. So that is now set at midnight. So let's try this again. What happened to the hour hand? There we go, it's underneath. Alright. There we go. Right. Get that back round there, and then just tweak it like that. And then got some tools for this, but I don't know which one to use. So looking at those, I'm going to go with the grey one. I think that looks to be the biggest aperture. So I'm going to just hold on to this and then give it a little bit of pressure. There we go. Hopefully that's not too far. I think that should be alright. I think that looks to be pretty good. Does it actually turn when we wind it? Yes, it does. Perfect. Okay. So again, we're going to go all the way round. Here we go. It should change when it gets dead on midnight. You know what, that's pretty damn close. I will take that. So let's set it to perfectly midnight like that. And now we will attempt to put the minute hand on. Here we go. Ah, lost it. It wants to. There we go. That's kind of on. So let's see what size is next then. I think it's probably the black one. Let's try this. That look like it's on to me? It does look like it's on. Might give it another little nudge. Try the grey one again. That looks like it might be interfering slightly with the hour hand now, so let's a bit more pressure on that side. That looks good. Now the minute hand turns. So we'll do it once more, all the way around the edge if we can. Gosh. Okay, so we're nearly there. Try not to catch the minute hand with my finger. So it's going to be a little early by the looks of it. Oh no, look at that, bang on. Can't ask for more than that, can you? That's amazing. Very, very cool. Okay, right, let's get the seconds hand back. I did knock it off accidentally earlier, so I moved it over there out of the way. Right. How am I going to manage this? Seconds hand can go anywhere now, it doesn't have to be pointing exactly right. It is, however, very, very hard to get into position. There. That looks like it's on. So I'm going to grab the clear one that doesn't have a hole. No, I think it's the upper one. I don't know. Let's try it and see. Might be the clear one. Apologies that my shadow might be in the way there. Oh, well, that clearly wasn't in, was it? Pinged off. Let's try this again. Oh, for goodness sake. I've done this once before on a friend's watch, and I didn't actually have really any problem with that. Are you in? I don't think this... No, it's not in the hole, that's the problem. Oh, think, by Jove, I think I've got it. Wow. Yep, that looks like it's in. Just slightly, if you look at it at that angle, just slightly pointing up. I'm going to see if I can just nudge the front down a little. That better? That looks better. Okay, so there we go. That's the hands in place, and my goodness, was that a fight. Okay, so now I guess is the ultimate test. Let's check that the hands all clear each other, and they do. That's good. So next thing to do is to push the crown in a bit into its middle setting, and look at that, it's ticking. Put a little bit of a wind into it, and look, oh, and check it out, we have a running watch. This is fantastic. By the way, I should have mentioned this earlier, I ought to be doing this on a movement holder rather than on a casing cushion, but you know, this is what I've got, so this is what I'm working with. So that is looking absolutely fantastic now. What a beauty. Guys, I know it's not much, but but look at it, it's amazing. The feeling of accomplishment I've got from just putting on some hands is quite incredible. I don't know how much of that I edited out, but I've been sat here for probably 20 minutes trying to get those on, that second hand on. The hour and the minute hand were pretty simple, to be honest, but that second hand was very, very tricky. But the feeling of accomplishment after doing it is absolutely brilliant. I'm well happy with that. Now the next part of this is casing it up, so let's move that off there for a moment. And here is my case. It is brushed steel, I think it is. Sort of a titanium look. And on the back we have, looks like a screw down. Is it a screw down? Yeah, I don't see any evidence of a levering point, so I suspect this is a screw back case. Now I've got one of these tools for this, and I have got some square ends on it, so that should be about right. So let's see. You just wind it in until the feet are the right size for the case, like that. Catches the back, and then there we go. Actually, I think it was on loose, to be honest, so it's not too big a deal. We also need to remove the crown. It's going to be nice having a little screw down crown there. It does have a gasket in it as well, so I think before we seal it up we will lubricate that gasket. Right, next thing is to take out the crown on this one, and I don't know how to do it. Okay, so I looked up online how to do this. I could do with having a movement holder, but I don't have one, so I'm going to use the watch case as an impromptu holder, which is probably not the best idea, but it's what I can do. So that's what I'm doing. With the crown pressed in, there's actually a little lever here that pops out, this one, and if you press that in you should be able to pull the crown straight out, so I'm told. So let's give this a go. There we go. Perfect. So now I can try and uncase this again somehow. There we go. Put it out like that. And we'll have another go at putting that in. So here we go. The gasket coming off there. Right. We'll pop the case over the top like so. And then turn the whole thing over. And we should now have a reasonable stab at a cased watch. It's not quite in the right place, so I'll spin it round a little. There we go, that looks good. And I think we should be able to pop this stem back in now. It's actually all the way in. There we go. So I can put that stem back in like that. Lovely. If I turn it over now, it's still not quite in right. There we are, I've pushed it into the front now. That looks good. So the stem that it came with is actually just a transport stem, as it were. We do have an actual stem here, which we're going to use with it. So first things first, I'm going to pop the crown onto this stem, and to do that I'm going to use a pin vise. So I just hold this in here and tighten it up. Oh, that's the wrong way. Hopefully I can get that correct. Off at an angle, which is not great. There we go. That's just gently held in there now. So I can pop the crown on the end of there and wind it on nice and securely. Now I can take this out of the vise and it can go back into the watch, like so. Cool. So that should be running now, and it's not. There we go, now it's running. Okay, I don't know what quite was wrong there, but now it's running. Look. But obviously the crown is way too far out right now. So we need to shorten that. So I've got a set of calipers here. Turn that on, make sure it's at 0. And now we have to very carefully measure the gap between there and there, I think. So it looks like we need to trim off 7.4 millimeters. I need to take that out again. So we use the same method as last time. Lovely. That lever works beautifully. Once you've got the hang of where it's meant to be, that works really nicely. Okay, so pop that aside for a second. Now I need to take the crown off again. So tighten that up, undo the crown. What I should have got and didn't was a little bit of Loctite. Right, there we go. So we want to take, that's quite a lot to take off, you know. There we are. I've put a mark on there. I've left a little bit too much actually, or rather I've purposefully made it a little bit short, so if there's a problem I can just work down to it. I don't want to take it all off at once, so we'll go to the very end. Where can you see? There. We'll go to the very end of that black mark. Go back just a little there, and there we go. Blimey. That's a horrifying horrifying thing to do, because you never know if you've got it right. Right, let's get my file again, and I'm just going to clean the edges off on there. There we go, and hopefully that will help the crown go on a bit cleaner. The crown which I've knocked out of the way. So let's find out how it goes. Doesn't want to catch on now. There we go. The threads can just be a little bit difficult to work with. Right, I've got that as tight as I can on there now. Now it's time to hope that we've done it right. There we go. So, watch is ticking again. But no, we still need quite a bit more to come off there. I was a bit too conservative. There we go. Another attempt in the watch then. There we go. Right, the watch is ticking. The crown is screwed down, and it seems to be flush. That looks pretty good to me. Now, obviously I'm not going to be wearing this in any pools or anything anytime, but that to me looks like it's in, and if I undo it, that's now out. So now I can wind the watch, and then I pull it out one step. There you go, I can change the date. Perfect. One more step, and I can change the time. That is now working perfectly. Lovely. It winds the watch as I tighten it up, but I think that's okay. Because it's an automatic watch, you can't overwind it. So that, I think, is a success. Perfect. We got a nice looking timepiece there. So now we can flip it back over. And we're ready to put the gasket in and the back. So I bought this little pot of gasket grease. So you just take the top off and then pop the gasket inside, pop the lid back on, and then you just turn it around a bit like that, and that applies grease to the gasket. There we go, one freshly lubricated gasket. Now we can put it back in the watch, and should sit nicely in its groove. There we go, lovely. And now we can put the back on the case. There we are. Beautiful. And I'll give it a little bit of a tighten with the tool. Not going to go crazy with it, because as I said, I'm not going to go in any swimming pools with this watch, so we don't actually need it to be super tight, but there we go, that'll do. There is our finished watch. All it needs now is a lovely strap. So let's flip it over and have a look at the strap. Cool. Right, I've tidied up the area a little bit. So now it's as simple as putting these on. So buckle goes on the top, right? So yeah, I've got this this lovely leather strap with the stitching on it. I think will go great with a pilot style watch. Yeah, like I say, it's actually a bit too nice for this watch. So we'll see if it stays on here long term, or whether oh gosh, it's actually a bit too wide. Oh no. Hang on, we got a problem. Yeah, that's 18. It's 18. They've sent me a 20mm strap. Blast. Okay, so it's a day later. I have returned the incorrect strap and the new one has arrived. So let's open it up, take it out, and hopefully this time we've got the right one. So let's pop it in, and yeah, there we go. That is much better. However, I do like these quick release spring bars, but you've got to have nails, and I don't have nails. There we go. Cool, that one's in. And that one's in. There we go. All that remains now is to remove the protective peel. On the back and on the front, if I can find it without damaging the crystal. I'm pretty sure there is one on there. I can feel the edge with my nail that barely exists. Here we go. There we are. That looks lovely now. Beautiful. Check that out. This is now a complete watch. So here we go. Let's pop it on. And there we go. That's what it looks like on. Beautiful. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed watching me build that. I'm going to go and enjoy my lovely new watch. I'll see you next time. Bye.